All right, guys, first day of minicamp. Lots of energy, lots of excitement out here. A little hazy day out here, a little cloudy. Got that smoke coming in. And we got the young Airwolf up, get ready to make a throw here, working routes on air, kind of spot throws. What have you thought of him so far through the OTA period, Fred and Tana? And what are you looking for from the minicamp period?
What I do love about it, he's calm, cool, and collected.
Sure.
Like, nothing looks too big for him. Like, I'm not looking for him to go out here and complete 90-yard passes. I look to see, because he control the huddle, which he can. Does he know the language, which he does, and can he control the offense, which he's shown that he can?
Yeah, one of the things about, right now is just getting familiar with everything. He had a whole year to be a rookie. I mean, I know that people might say, he only played one game, but being a rookie sometimes leads you to not playing. You know what I mean? So he got a chance to really get familiar with things. Now, the things that's going to be a lot different this year going into his second year is now he has to be a rookie again into a new offense. You know what I mean? So that's the difficult part about it. But when you're watching him out here, so far so good, he's taking command and he's distributing the ball to the open guy. That's to me, and any receiver want to watch a quarterback, that's what you want to see him find the right open guys.
Let's not forget that he practiced all year versus a top 10 defense. I think people forget the reps that he got in practice. I think people forget that, of course, him and Diamond Brown had a relationship going back from North Carolina, but I'm sure him and some receivers got that relationship even tighter while he was the practice quarterback here.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, don't forget those reps.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a big part of development is practice, right? Another guy that's had I think a pretty solid, especially last 3 days of practice, is Jacoby Brissett. What do you thought about that relationship? How does he help Sam? Is it a true competition? What's going on there?
You know what Coach says is a true competition. And what I really love about Jacoby is he's a teacher.
Sure.
He's a nurturer. He understands, all right, if y'all need me to step up and play, I will be ready. But it's my job to help groom the young Airwolf, Sam Wolf, and Sam Howell, and get him ready to get in place. And I think that's what he's doing. But I think he's also pushing him to say, you know what, you can't make these mistakes, because if you do, I will take this job.
Yeah, basically it's just that pressure. Let them know I'm here, man. Don't sneeze wrong.
Yeah.
Don't blink. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm here, and that's what you want. You want a guy that's not coming in here just to say, okay, I'm here to groom this guy. No, I'm here to force him to not let me play. You know what I mean? Don't allow me to see the field. Even in the preseason, don't allow me to go out there and strut my stuff to get people to start thinking, hey, maybe I should start the season off. But I love that, just knowing that, you got to think also his journey. Where he comes from.
Sure.
How many teams he had to sit behind guys or come in and play for guys when they weren't able to play, a la last season.
Yeah.
So, I just love to have him. And I remember folks, in the comments on IG, like, what are you talking about? You want him here?
Why
because
not?
I felt like he was
Sure.
right for what we was looking for. We didn't want to get a guy that we're gonna have to say, okay, he's a for sure starter.
Yep.
We wanted the guy that we know if we don't have our guy ready, and come week one, then we can always lean on him. But I think Brissett is one of those guys that any team would love to have him on that.
He's just always ready.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah, and when you watch them throw, I think it's so interesting. Like, Sam is so twitched up. That release is so fast. The footwork's so quick. And Jacoby's a little bit more
elongated,
more deliberate.
Yeah.
As a DB, Fred, which of those skill sets is more challenging
Dangerous
to deal with?
Well, I got to get it, like you just said, the elongated throws from Jacoby gives me time to get out of my break and find him and get on close to his hip.
Sure.
The Sam ball kind of just it leaves his hands with some force, and also so he'll put me in a position where I got to secure the tackle instead of trying to break it up.
Sure.
One gives me a chance to break on the ball, give me a chance to make some action. So I love that about Sam. Like, I love the fact how deliberately he delivers the ball.
Sure. And Tana, do you have a preference in terms of throwing it, or you just want him to get it to you?
I just want him to be able to be catchable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I care less how your windup is. Yeah. Just don't come to me like a dart, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And or a BB in the dark. You know what I mean? You want one of those balls that's just very catchable. And it seems like even with, Sam having one of those, quick twitch, arms, his ball is catchable. Everybody seems to be catching the ball pretty
absolutely. And
well.
I just remember playing with Jimmy Garoppolo, and one of the things that was tough, he had a lightning quick release, and the ball would kind of jump on you in a different way. So getting used to that different type of skill set, and right now they're going to work on some of that here with routes on air.
Yep.
And Tana, we've talked about routes on air a ton because I do a lot of routes on air in this period. Oh, they're working a little screen here. That's kind of nice. But why is this so important? This seems like an easy throw, easy catch. Why is this important to kind of work on this for the receivers?
I think it's getting everybody ordered up to some of the plays that we'll be doing today. One of the things I love to take advantage of is just touching the ball.
Yep.
Okay.
Touching the ball in a period where I know I might have this route. And most of the routes on air are going to be predominantly routes that we're going to run throughout the course of practice.
Yep.
So you want to get familiar with the quarterback's timing, and just going through your steps now, because when it's time to blow that whistle and everything is live, you don't want to have to sit there and be guessing or thinking about a route because you didn't get a rep in practice yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the interesting thing here is, like, the step up, the step back, kind of working the timing. And this is the level of detail that gets me fired up, because this is what makes great football teams, what makes great offenses. It prevents the DB from jumping this little smoke route, right, Fred? Puts these guys in a better spot to, make something happen after the catch.
Well, let's just be honest. If I was over there at the defensive backfield, I'd be doing my drills, but, I have one eye over here, and I'd be watching Santana. I'd be like, oh, so that's what they want to run today. Yeah. But guess what? A guy like Bieniemy, he's going to set you up with the fake screen, and we're going to send number one up the seam.
Right.
So he's also setting things up for the next play, and that's what I love. He has a play off of every play that he runs, and this is why it benefits them to run them off air. The first time a quarterback makes this throw, you don't want that to be in 7-on-7. You don't want that to be in team. You want it to be right here so Santana can make a clean catch. Terry McLaurin can make a clean catch. No, they got to make that move and get upfield.
Yeah, and so, let's talk about Terry. You just mentioned him. He's up here running a route here,
Yep.
the little comeback, this little hitch. What's the expectation for him during this OTA period? He's been around for a long time. Does he really need to be here? Like what's the expectation for him?
He's established his supremacy. No. At the end of the day, if you're a team leader and you're a guy that, most definitely just got the bag, a guy that showed people year in and year out he's a top 10 wide receiver in this league, yes, he wants to come out here and make sure he's holding his wide receivers to a standard. He's coming out here making sure they understand how to be a professional. And that's what I love about Terry. I talked to him on draft night. The first thing came out of his mouth, how I can help the team. And if that's on special team, that's on special team. He's one of those guys, I'm all in, I'm nothing all.
Yeah, and also, Tana, what is it? How is it important that he's here for a new offense with a new quarterback, building that chemistry? Because, you had to do that a whole bunch in your career.
Yeah, he had to build chemistry with 23 quarterbacks.
I mean, one of the things that stand out to me, and regardless of the circumstances, quarterback, new quarterback, new offense, when you're a guy that means business and this thing means something to you, you're gonna be here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just thinking back. You just said, you asked the question, how important for him to be here. If this is what you do for a living, you're gonna be here. You know what I mean? That was me. When they said we had to be around, whether it was mandatory or not, I wanted to be around. One, it's because I'm working on my craft. I'm doing it in a team setting. And two, for every guy that had a dream of saying I'm gonna be next, not for my position.
Not mine.
I'm gonna show you why not over here. So that's one of the things that I took pride in, just coming and showing, being present. You know how we say, I'm here. Being present.
When the substitute teacher call your name, Balake, I'm here right here.
Let them know I'm here.
That's funny. I think that's a great point, though.
Rest assured, man, not this position, any other position, but not this one.
Yeah, and so you mentioned being here, and we've got a whole bunch of guys that weren't here for OTAs that are here today. We got Chase, Montez, we got Leno here. Great to see them. What's the expectation for those guys coming in, and what do you want to see from a guy like Chase who's coming off an injury?
I just want to see him healthy, running around, happy to play football. At the end of the day, the one thing I've seen last year, at the end of last year, people don't understand. Injuries are physical, but they are mental. Yeah. They are so mental. And I seen him not taking certain steps because he just wasn't sure. Now we're going to see him run without thinking. Yeah. Football players react.
Right? Hopefully,
hopefully. We'll see him run without thinking. And then you got a guy like Montez Sweat that's in a contract year that understands I need to have my best ball. And when that contract year comes, we put ourselves in bubble wrap. We go to practice and we go home. Yeah. That's it. So he's focused on one thing.
Living right.
Let's get into the quarter. Yeah, we live right then, right?
And is the situation different between the two guys? Is Chase being here different than Montez being here?
No, same thing.
Same thing?
Same thing.
I think it varies. Honestly, I believe that Chase earned the right to kind of say, all right, I can play with this a little bit. I'm going into that year where I don't want to risk anything because I only have one more year.
Yeah, sure.
And I've been here all the years, and I've proved to them that I can stay healthy and be on the field.
You talking Montez or Chase?
My bad, Montez.
Yeah, Montez, I agree.
But Chase, on the other hand, he's a guy that, even though he doesn't have to prove anything,
he got to live up to that number 2.
I feel like it's just the fact of being injured and knowing that they didn't give you that
fifth-year
option. That should kind of make you want to come out here and just stretch your stuff a little bit.
And talk some trash and get to the quarterback and say, you know what?
But I know different strokes for different folks, so I understand him not being here. You know what I mean? Because that's his decision. And he didn't do it last year, and he might not do it none throughout his career. But I know certain guys just get, ticked off about certain things, like myself, especially being a quiet guy. I didn't want to have to, say anything. I just let the eye in the sky.
Because you led by example.
I let the eye in the sky tell everything.
So he was here.
It'd be great to see him flying around out here.
And so, Tana, you've you've talked about your knee injury and coming back from that a whole bunch. What do you expect to see from him today? Like, how did you utilize these periods coming off of an injury to kind of say, hey, I'm back, or maybe I need a little bit more of X, Y, Z?
Well, different positions. I play receiver, so
Sure.
you had to be careful because you can go out there and try to, really show off, and then you hurt something.
I'm sure there's a lot of change of direction.
You're
big,
right.
Big
You're
explosive
right.
movements with the
You're
D-line
right.
too.
But I just know I had to. I grew up quick.
Yeah.
When I went through that injury, I had to sit back and really watch and say, okay, Tanner, when you like to show off your speed and being able to stop so quick, take your time. And I went back to what I talked about, what Wayne Gabet told me. Slow down a little bit.
Slow the pace.
And so now I'm running 3/4 speed, turning the gear on here and there when I have to, but just making sure I'm careful with everything.
Sure.
Because all I wanted to do was, my main goal was get to game day. I haven't had one of those yet. You know what I mean? So I'm like, get to game day.
Show them who you are.
I hurt my knee before I even played in the preseason game.
Yeah.
So my main goal was to get to game day. And, when I get out there, now I know it's time to go. But, Chase has been over that already. He's gotten the game day. He played with a brace on. I think now you want to see him stronger.
Does he need to prove something, though?
Yeah, well, he got to prove something because he got to prove something to himself.
I see.
It ain't even really about prove something. People got to realize, we talking about the number 2 pick. This was supposed to be a franchise-changing talent.
Yeah.
And when you look at his production is there, especially in the first year. Let's not act like he wasn't defensive rookie of the year. Let's not act like he hasn't put up stats. But guess what? When you show me you can do that, that's what I want every week, Logan. That's what I want every year. And the one thing that has set him back is injury, and I reiterate this. Mentally, where is he at mentally?
I think what he has to prove to me, just mainly, and I don't think, it's something just that he can be out there on the field.
Sure.
Available. You want the guy like that because if he's available, he's going to go out there and be he's going to set the tone, and he's going to be a disruptor.
Yeah.
And so I think if he's available, because that's what folks fail to realize. We get caught up in so much of the play part of it.
Yeah.
It's about being out there.
Sure.
Because the play going to come. You're a professional for a reason because you have that talent.
Sure.
You can cut that switch on when you want to. So it's all about being available.
The best ability? Availability.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Well, guys, man, we got a lot of practice to watch yet, and I'm excited to watch it with the both of you. Make sure I can't wait to watch, the receivers, the running backs, the tight ends.
Bring up the DBs.
All that stuff, man. But we're not going to talk about the DBs today.
Why not
Forbes today?
Hey, why not, man?
Hey, you want to talk about Forbes real quick? Let's talk about Forbes.
Let's talk about not just Forbes. I'm talking about somebody else that I think need to.
I thought we could get out of it.
No. Somebody else that I think that need to get some light shine on him is Quan Martin.
Okay.
Like, he's a guy,
number 20.
Yes, he's a guy that his athletic ability is off the chart. I think he jumped to 44-inch vertical,
which is crazy.
And I think he got the long. Like, this guy is a guy that I think people are sleeping on because they so excited about Forbes that they forgetting about it's like being in a rap group, Kid and Play. Like, you got to have both of them. Both of these guys bring that talent to the board.
You can't have one without the other, right?
You can't have one without the other.
Well, Quan Martin, obviously they're working a little walkthrough over here, working kind of route combinations, matching it. So important for DBs, so important for him kind of being in that slot, right?
Yeah.
And, man, I'm really excited to watch more practice. And can't wait to cut it up with you guys some more.
You got to love it, Ashburn, right now. You got to love it.